guys, welcome yet again to Motoroids. We are in the beautiful country of Vietnam at the VinFast manufacturing plant. And what I'm driving right now is the VF7, which is the more premium of the two VinFast models that are going to be launched in India. And right off the bat, the feeling that you get from behind the steering wheel is this is a bigger car. The dashboard has more premium materials. It also gets this double stitching. And generally, you feel like you're driving a more expensive, bigger, more robust car, but the similarities are also quite striking. For example, the screen size is exactly the same, the steering is the same. You have this facial recognition camera here. You don't have an instrument console and you have an HUD. Just like the VF6, you have all the drive buttons right here. You don't have a drive selector per se, and you also don't have a start-stop button. Also, you have this central panel where you have wireless charging, while you don't have it in the VF6. But the bigger difference, of course, is the size. This car is a whole 300 mm bigger than the VF6, and it's supposed to be slightly sportier as well. And like you saw with the VF6, the handling of these cars is quite reliable. You can turn them without having any doubts in your mind, and they accelerate pretty briskly. So the battery pack on this car is bigger, of course, and this one gets a 70.8 kilowatt hour battery pack, which would provide a range of about 450 odd kilometers in the real world. The acceleration for the all-wheel drive variant, which is this one, is from 0 to 100 in a flashing fast 5.8 seconds, but the front wheel drive version will take you there slightly slower than the VF6 at about 9.5 seconds, and that's down to the fact that this is a bigger, heavier car. Now, the big thing about this specific model is that this isn't just bigger and sportier in terms of the specs, it's also sportier when you look at it. So while both the cars are designed by Torino Design in Italy, this car is definitely the most swashbuckling of the two. It has more flamboyance, it is sportier, and I really think that looking at it, a lot of people who want their cars to have some street presence are going to buy it, because I personally love the way this car looks. It has a very sporty exterior expression without being very bulky, without being very brawny. Designed by Torino Design, very organic lines, yet very sporty, yet very muscular, and it has street presence. So I personally like the way this car looks. And right now we are doing about 138, 34, 140 kilometers per hour, and I can hear some wind noise. So up to 120 kilometers per hour there is no noise coming in, but beyond that you have some wind noise trickling inside. You don't have the region modes in your hand, so what you can really do is you can press this button and change the mode between eco, normal and sport, and you can also change the region modes between off, low, mid and high. And also, if you're missing the instrument console here, you can press this button and decide what all you want on the screen using the controls here. So there's no instrument console, but you have a very information rich HUD sitting right there. Like I mentioned with my VF6 first impressions also, this environment is not good enough for me to give you a conclusive answer on how good or bad the ride quality of the handling is, but the first impressions are very positive. It rides in a very well damped kind of a manner, very European. It comes with bigger 19-inch wheels, and despite the lower profile tires, I don't see a big difference in terms of the ride quality over these well paved surfaces. Again, the ground clearance is pretty generous, but I cannot be very conclusive with how good or bad the ride quality and the handling is. But the first impressions, like I mentioned, are pretty good. And if you've not already observed, we have two friends from VinFast sitting in the back seat. And how comfortable are you two?
Yeah, very good. Nice driver.
One of our friends does not even bother. She's so comfortable that she is not even bothering to look and smile. Now she does. But all in all, feels like a very simplified, very no fuss kind of a car, just like the VF6. And we'll talk about all the features that we have in the car next. Right guys, so that's how the VF7 drives. Not conclusive, but the first impressions are really good. And just look at this thing. I simply love the way this car has been designed. Torino Design officially, and it is sporty, yet it is understated and elegant. But the front is very similar to what we have come to expect from VinFast cars. There's this V logo flanked by this V-shaped somewhat DRL. You have the similar LED projector main light here, but the DRL here is different as compared to the VF6. You have a similar air curtain. The ADAS module sits here, and you have this additional satin silver finish onto the lower bumper. It really looks more aggressive than its smaller sibling, and I really love the way it looks from the front. This car is also much bigger, almost about 4,600 in length, which makes it much bigger than the likes of the Creta. So in that sense, this is trying to create a niche for itself, a different segment, a bigger car, big 19-inch aero wheels, wider tires, 245 section. These are Apollo Aspire tires, and the ground clearance also, as you can see, is pretty generous. So won't have any problem navigating through our pothole riddled roads. A special thing here is that you have flush fitting door handles. Unlike the VF6, you of course get a 360-degree camera, the position of which is slightly different. You have these trafficators, and you again have a sunroof which is fixed glass. You don't have the moving panels. You have a shark fin antenna, and unlike the VF6, since this is sportier, as you can see, greenhouse area, again a very sporty, swooping kind of a roofline and a small rear window. Coming towards the rear, a very nice sporty kind of a rear. Even if you look at it from the side, the spoiler is very sporty, and the rear profile also has a very nice sporty look to it. And at the rear, again, very similar design cues. Yes, the rebranding stamped by the tail lamp, but the tail lamps here are very different. They're stacked vertically, and you also have a fog lamp sitting right here. In addition to all of those embellishments, just like the front, you have these satin silver inlays right over the bumper. Open the boot. You might want to think that it's powered, and you'd be right. So it comes with a powered tailgate, unlike the VF6. So that's again an additional feature here. So since this is a bigger car, it has a bigger boot as well. 537 liters of boot space, 60-40 split rear seats, and you have some space underneath the floor as well, but you don't get a spare. So it's a bigger boot, more space for a longer holiday. I don't see a parcel tray shelf here, but I'm sure that when this car comes to India, they will be offering that as a feature. Time now to get inside the car and see the differences it has over the VF6, and also the additional features and the additional space that it has inside of the cabin. Now, as you can see, the key is a very premium unit. You have the VinFast V logo sitting here, and you have this very nice satin silver kind of a treatment at the bottom. You have this car finder button and lock, unlock, and boot release. Of course, if you press this button, the boot will come up all by itself because it's powered. The mirrors are folding tight, and if the car is locked and you approach the car, you'd be able to yank the door handle and open the car. And the interior of this car, as I mentioned, definitely looks more premium than the VF6. It gets more of the vegan leather. It has more soft to touch materials inside. And while the entire layout is more or less the same, the size of the car itself and the appointment of the color for the upholstery is very different. And on the dash, as you can see, you have this double stitched soft to touch dashboard, which gives it its unique character. The camera that you see here is meant to enhance the capabilities of the ADAS features that it has. And it is a drowsiness detection system, or so we are told. You have some very nice satin silver inlays. This is hard plastic, but all of this is soft to touch. And the space here on the door panel is more than what you get on the VF6. So you actually can put a big 1-liter water bottle here. The brake pedal here is a steel unit, although the accelerator is your normal plastic unit. You get powered seats here, but not for the front passenger. The steering wheel is shared between the two cars, and it's a very nice, chunky, fat, small, deep cut unit with this very nice satin silver inlay. All the controls are sitting right here. All the ADAS functions sit right here. And you have the audio controls here. 12.6-inch screen with a very minimal kind of a layout. Everything is tiled up very neatly, and seats are ventilated, and you can control the seats through the screen. As is the case with everything else, you don't have any physical buttons. And apart from these drive selector buttons, you really don't have any physical controls except for the buttons for the window lock, hazard, and volume and mute. So everything is controlled from here, and you don't have an instrument console. So you can control the HUD by pressing this button. And if you can have a look from right behind my head, there is an HUD there. And like I mentioned earlier as well, if you're wearing polarized glasses, you'll have to take them off because then either the screen will start flickering or you won't be able to see it at all. Apart from this, like I mentioned, you have three modes and four region modes to choose from. This car gets wireless charging, unlike the VF6, which does not. You get two Type A sockets. You don't have a Type C socket here. You have two big cup holders and this additional space here. The armrest is nice and soft, and you have plenty of space underneath. Both sides get vanity mirrors, but they are both not illuminated. And you also get an auto dimming IRVM. This car gets ADAS level 2 features and 7 airbags. So this is a BNCAP 5-star rated car, no compromises on the safety. You can feel really safe inside of this car. Generally speaking, it has all the amenities except for the fact that it does not get an instrument console. And the one gripe that we had with the VF6 that it does not have wireless charger. This car addresses that problem. Also, overall, I like this car a lot more than the VF6 because it feels more premium from the outside, from the inside, and it's more of a my kind of a car. I like my SUVs to be a little bit more muscular, and this one just fits the bill. Let's also see how much space we have in the back seat and how comfortable or not is it. So unlike the front, you don't have enough space for a 1 liter water bottle here. Getting inside is damn easy, and the difference in the cabin size is instantly evident the moment you enter this car. The seat reclines and it feels like a really comfy place. I really think that this SUV feels much bigger than the VF6. The amount of extra knee room that you have really makes itself evident. I also think that the angle of the seats is much better here. You get better thigh support, and as you can see, there's no dearth of headroom also. And even if you are a 6 feet 2, you should not have a problem seated here. Your head won't brush with the roof. Let's have a look at the armrest as well. And just like the VF6, you have a wide armrest with twin cup holders. And you also get two Type A and one Type C socket with 90 watts of charging. So this is a power socket, and you can really fast charge all your electronic equipment using this Type C socket. You get your AC vents and this little crevice. These are the magazine holders, and all three passengers will get their own individual headrests, and of course, a proper 3-point seat belt. The reading lights in this car are placed differently than the VF6. There you have the reading lights here, and here you have the reading lights on the side. I would have really liked this car to have blinds. On this version of the car, you don't have it, but for all we know, the Indian version may have it. In conclusion, I think that the VF7 feels a lot more spacious and comfortable than the VF6. And the size of this car really, especially shows in the backseat. It feels far more comfortable and far more comfy. So while the battery packs on both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive variants are the same, the power outputs, of course, are different. And I'm pretty sure that the range on the all-wheel drive, thanks to its higher discharge rate, would be lower than the front-wheel drive because it's more powerful, it is faster in acceleration, and of course it's channeling the power to all four wheels via two motors. So in terms of power output, the front wheel drive variant gets about 203 PS of power and 310 Newton meters of torque, and the more powerful all-wheel drive version gets 353 PS of power and 500 Newton meters of torque. The 0 to 100 times, again, as I mentioned, the front wheel drive is slower with about 9.5 seconds to the ton, and the all-wheel drive does it in really fast 5.8 seconds. As you would know, we are still far from the launch of this car, about a couple of months. So prices are not out yet. My estimation is that the price of this car would be from 20 to 25 lakh rupees, depending on the version that you are buying. And for that price, I think this is a lot of car for the money. I especially like the way this looks, the battery capacity, and generally speaking, it gets the job done on a lot of fronts. If my understanding of the market is correct, a lot of the Indian audience is going to love the way this car looks, and this car is going to sell for its looks alone. What do you think of this car's styling? Do let me know in the comment section. And what would be the ideal pricing for this car? Do let us know in the comment section about that as well. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Motoroids, and until next time, this is your friend Amit Changani signing off. Never hard, free, and drive safe.